In this chapter, we're going to discuss stabilisation for your bow. Now, stabilisation provides a number of different functions. The first one being how well the bow holds and aims when trying to aim at the target face. The second one is to reduce any excess vibration from the bow to make it feel better after the shot. And the third one is to make sure that the bow reacts well after the shot. What I mean by this is that the bow moves forward and doesn't make any erratic movements which could affect the arrow flight. There are various types of stabilisation available, made by all different manufacturers. So I'm going to take you through a couple of the ones that I find most effective on my bow. Now, it's important to remember when stabilising your bow that the actual bow itself is not symmetrical down the centre. Therefore, as you can see when looking at this, there's a lot more weight to my right than there is to my left, which is made up of the sight window, the rest, and the sight itself. So first of all, the first step I make in stabilising my bow is to counterbalance this side weight. I do this by screwing in a V-bar unit and then attaching two side rods. Once the V-bar unit's screwed in like that, I'm just going to use an Allen wrench to tighten it up. Make sure that's tight and that it sits perfectly square on the bow. I'm then going to take two side rods. I'm going to screw one in either side. You'll notice that on my left side of the bow, I've actually put an extra weight onto this side. Now that weight should counterbalance the sight and the sight window on the riser itself. In order to check that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to thread some rope through the top of the wheel and I'm going to hang it. Then by looking at the bubble, we'll see how well the bow sits up straight. I'm now going to take the rope and thread it through the wheel on the top of the bow. I'm then going to hang the bow up and check that with that extra weight on the left side, that the bow actually holds upright. If I look at the bubble, I can see that the bubble is still slightly to the left side. So therefore, I need to tilt it further left. To do this, I'm going to fit another weight onto this side of the bow. So now with two weights, I'm going to do the exact same thing again, and I'm going to see if it's in the middle this time. I can now see that if I hang it like that, the bubble is perfectly in the middle, which means that when I hold the bow up to shoot it, it should naturally want to sit level. Now, if I hadn't put those weights on there, then it would have wanted to lean that side. But I've corrected that now, and hopefully the bow should hold more upright. I'm now going to fit the front stabiliser to the bow. Now, the purpose of the front stabiliser is to counter the natural reaction of the bow to kick backwards. It'll also balance this side weight that we've put on here now. Now, different people use different amounts of weight on the front. On this particular one, I've chosen to use 4 steel weights. Now that gives me just enough to keep the bow holding still, but it's not too much that it'll drag me down the target when I'm trying to aim with it. So now we're just going to fit that into the front of the bow. The bow's now ready to shoot, but it's important to remember that it's all about trial and error with stabilisation. You may just want to start with 1 weight on the front and then try 2, 3, or even 4 like I use, and just see which holds best for you and which makes the bow react best out of your hand.